Hi everyone, happy Sunday. It's Jeannie Peters here from Nourishing Wellness, here to give you your tip for week number 3 of our Super Summer Shape Up. And coming up this week, we really want to talk about the power of pre-planning your meals and how that can make it more successful for you to be able to eat well. So I want to just show you what Doc Allen and I do every Sunday. It's kind of a ritual that we do after we finish our good workout in the morning. And so we had a great workout, and then we went on to Trader Joe's. But before we did that, we always plan out our meals for the week, and we keep this on our refrigerator. And so I know exactly what we're going to be eating for every lunch. I know what my little snacks are going to entail, and then I've got all my meals for the evening planned out, so I know precisely what I need to get. Then, as a follow-up to that, we put together a shopping list with the foods that we like to eat week after week. So I'm more than happy to share this tool with you. It's a great tool that's been helpful for us. We keep it on our refrigerator. It gives us a memory of, what we need to pick up for the week.
Take it with us, too.
We always usually take it with us as well. This week we did amazingly well. We got all the food that you're going to see in just a few minutes for $94.63. So I think we did really well. Not only did we keep to our budget, but by having a list, you tend not to go and do impulse buying. But I want to show you that despite that, we were able to go ahead and get some really healthy food. So I wanted to show you some of the protein things that we got for this week. For some of you, you know that we've been doing these ground buffalo steak burgers because they're raised without the use of hormones or antibiotics. In fact, we've got some cooking right now.
43 grams of protein.
Yeah, really great. Alan loves the fact that this is 43 grams of protein in one of the burgers, 12 grams of fat. But, if you were to have this with a great salad, it's a terrific meal. I picked up a couple of sardines, picked up some pink salmon that I'm going to be using.
My oysters.
Got some solid white tuna. Alan likes to have that. Oh, Alan wants to show you he's got his smoked oysters. That's one of his little snack foods mid-afternoon. A couple other things I thought were great in terms of protein sources that you might not think of. This is some black beluga lentils. They're fully cooked. They're 16 grams of protein. It's got 17 grams of fiber. So that's almost like 3/4 of your fiber for the day. That's amazing. I'm going to take these. I'm going to mix it with some chopped tomatoes, some different kinds of greens, some cucumbers, a little bit of olive oil. Well, I can't do olive oil, but I'll do some grapeseed oil and some vinegar to make a great salad for lunch. A couple other things, we're going to be doing a chili this week. So we got some black beans, always a great fiber source. Every morning, I start my morning off with some eggs. Usually with peppers, I usually do 2, maybe even 3 eggs with some roasted peppers. So I always like to pick those up. We're very fond of asparagus. It's asparagus season. So this is a great replacement for a protein in the evening, for a starch. We'll do an extra serving of asparagus along with a big salad. Great to always keep this baby spinach on hand. I use this every morning. Alan takes a good 2 or 3 handfuls, throws it into the pan with those eggs. That, along with those peppers, makes for a great breakfast. And I love to throw in some mushrooms into that. They're quick cooking.
You got the shiitake.
Shiitake mushrooms are always great, just for a little variety. Really great.
Yeah. And I want to point out on these eggs, we like this, the dark yolk, the omega-3. And so that's really something that kind of spices up this bright orange, and it's also got a lot of omega-3s
in it.
Dark yolk ones.
Right.
Okay.
And then a couple other things that we like to have. Mid-afternoon, a lot of you know that we like to do some kind of dry roasted nuts, maybe with some blueberries or some raspberries as a great afternoon snack. A 1/4 cup of nuts. These particular ones are great, 6 grams of protein, just a great nutrition source. I also like to blend that up with, if not pistachios, I'll do it with some dry roasted almonds. I've got some of the heirloom tomatoes because we're still waiting for ours to be ready. A couple of bananas. My son loves bananas. I love bananas. I like to do
And then my favorite, 72% dark chocolate. That keeps me going for the whole week, and maybe more.
Now, all of us are gluten-free here at the house, so we're actually, we found these chocolate-dipped coconut macaroons. I find them to be great because there's only 10 grams of carbs in these. It's very low in sugar, 9 grams of sugar. 80 calories for a cookie. So, I need a little something to pick me up, so that's one of my little treats in the afternoon. with some tea. Tea that I bought this week is the Gayaki Yerba Mate tea. I'm not doing green or black tea, so this tea is great just because it gives me, a nice little lift. It's wonderful for some of you who are trying to get off of green or black tea and also want to be able to have a nice lift. It has a little bit of caffeine in it, but this caffeine doesn't tend to impact your central nervous system in the same way. So it's great for anybody with adrenal fatigue. And I always like to serve it with a little bit of blue agave nectar. You may be hearing about agave, not being such a great sweetener. I'm buying the raw. I use it very lightly. I use less than a tablespoon a day, but a little bit of my tea makes a big difference. Doc Peters has to have his pickle in the afternoon.
There's no carbs in here, in his pickles. That's amazing. So.
Well, no pickles have carbs, but I mean, this is his fun food.
Well, cucumbers have carbs.
He can have his fun food. He loves it with his uncured roast beef. So for often, he'll take a slice of this uncured roast beef and wrap it around a pickle, and that's his mid-afternoon snack, just to keep him going for those next two clients at the end of the day.
And I did want to share these crackers which you just found. I like these with my oysters. If you do, we have way cut down on crackers, and cheese, but we have it with our oysters or sardines. And this is, like Jean says, we're gluten-free. So the nice thing about this is it's made out of corn. And actually, if you see here, I don't know how well you can see that, but it's 18 grams of carb, and that is actually 16 crackers. So that's pretty amazing. Only one, and 2 grams of fiber, 2 grams of protein. So it's only, basically 1 gram of net carbs per cracker. Show me that on a regular cracker box, and only 50 milligrams of sodium. So really good product if you want a little cracker.
One last thing I want to just show you is that, we're lazy cooks, so we're always looking at how we can eat well without having to spend a lot of time. So I always pick up this mirepoix. This is great for being able to do a really quick soup. I'm going to just show you its combination of celery, onions, and carrots. I'm going to cook that up real quickly. To that, I'm going to add some beans that I've soaked and make a nice bean stew for this week. And then finally, one last thing I want to just point out. This is the best natural mineral water that there is on the planet. I pick up this at Trader Joe's. I always like to pick up a couple of bottles of it. A nice, refreshing alternative for those of you who love to have a glass of wine. I will have this maybe with a splash of Betsy Lotz's delicious grapefruits that she's given to me. So this is nice, highest mineral content that you can get, particularly high in magnesium and that. Wonderful after a workout. So keep that in mind. Oh, and then I just want to show you.
It's a turbo.
This is something new at Trader Joe's. We're going to do that this week. This is the Wild Caught Turbo. We baked it. It's delicious because, again, very high in protein, very low in fat, but a nice blend.
So very inexpensive for fish these days. $4 for my piece and $3 for Janie's.
So I think we're going to eat well this week. And so I wanted to just show you, again, this is our ritual. It's a really great way to start your week is to think in terms of either Saturday or Sunday, getting your meal plan down, getting a shopping list together, which I'm more than happy to share with you. And then also, thinking in terms of all the foods that you need for the week so that you can be successful.
After your workout.
So join me Monday night, 7 to 8. I'm going to be giving you some more tips on how to live and think like a thin person.